Alright, hey everyone, welcome to another Wildewitch RP live play TTRPG session. What is Wildewitch RP? Well, that's me, Faye, game master and storyteller, and Lachlan, our writer and producer. We are a couple who love sharing stories, so much so that we quit our day jobs and created our own company. That way we can create high quality and exciting TTRPG experiences full time and share them with you. And today, we're playing D&D. Well, tonight, I guess. Time zone. Either way, this session features the Burning Veil storyline, set in our very own Bellinara campaign setting. It is a deeply personal tale of trust, betrayal, magic, and magnificent ambition where the fate of the world hangs in the balance. With us at the table are several of the incredible players who have joined us on our grand endeavor. If you'd like to play alongside them, you're more than welcome to join us as well. You can ask in chat or hop over to our Discord to find out more information. Now, speaking of our awesome players, it's time for introductions. Like I said, I'm Faye, game master and storyteller. With me is Science bringing all of our background music and sound effects. It's a fantastic and affordable sound collection that you can find at sirenscape.com. And now, we get to meet our courageous, daring heroes, as they may have just walked themselves into the lion's den. And we'll begin with an introduction for Bracken.
Yeah, hey everybody, it's me, Thresh. I play Bracken. Bracken's a Kender fighter monk who's really good at punching things, and that's about it. But he tries his best at other things, like cooking and talking and making sure everyone's having a good time.
Hell yeah. Next up for our introductions, why don't we learn of Avi?
Hi, I'm Kelsey. I play Avi. She's a half elf bard sorcerer. Um, she cares deeply about her friends. She's constantly singing, and she's just a little spooky.
We love a little spooky.
We sure do.
Next up for our introductions, why don't we learn of Cecil?
Hello, my name is Brent, and I play Cecil Darkholm. He's a Forest Gnome Cavalier who has had a heavy heart and a troubled mind, especially after his time here in Vale to Umbra. He has a bad habit of writing letters and not sending them, that he may be changing soon. Maybe, we'll see. He's ready to support his friends and do what he can to keep the distant home he was banished from safe from harm.
Hell yeah. And then, last but not least, why don't we learn of Z?
Hello, everybody. My name is Bo, and I play Z. They are a changeling artificer with the homebrew class based in necromancy. The bone cobbler. They are high on emotions and hoping to make it out of this weird vampire situation alive.
Hell yeah. Well then, with no further introductions needed, I think we are good to dive into our session. And we begin where we left off. As you entered into the courtyard of House Gezidu, you saw the uh, fountain of viscous crimson liquid darkened in the ever night. You are able to spot in the distance the grand hall and other buildings, and there are, of course, to be gardens and people present. And well, what would you like to do in this sprawling estate grounds? Where do you wish to start your search? Believed two figures on your radar were uh, Morgod and Sh- I know who he is. He's the guard captain.
Yeah, that one guy.
Yeah, Shavraba.
Chavababa.
I had my other notes pulled up of where you're at, but not the notes of the people. So many notes.
I would like to approach. Are we still at the front entrance area?
Yeah, you've just kind of entered into the courtyard here. You've not actually
Okay.
explored the other sprawling areas of the grounds.
Okay. I would like to kind of get closer to the fountain, and I want to like put my hand in it, take it out, and like observe the liquid.
Okay. Give me a Constitution saving throw first and foremost.
Oh my gosh.
Are you kidding?
Okay, so you take half damage.
What?
As you stick your hand in to the fountain's waters, please note that there are air quotes around that. It is a thick, viscous liquid, and you can feel the acidic bite and chill that comes into you. And that is going to be. So that's 14 on a failed save, half as much. So 7 points of acid damage and 6 points necrotic that you would take.
13 points of damage?
And then as you pull your hand back, having experienced that, you are welcome to roll for me either a nature, arcana, or medicine check. This seems to be some sort of ooze-like existence, but instead of a more water base for whatever this congealment is, it seems to be based out of corrupted blood. But it is most definitely an ooze.
You just hear a very slight grunt, and I kind of observe the hand. And I look up and I sort of am a little questioning why Z put their hand in. But can't
Yeah.
beat their curiosity.
You alright?
Yeah, I was not expecting that to happen. Ow.
Well, you're brave. I wouldn't have touched that with a 10-foot pole.
Well, it's just my natural curiosity. Anytime I see something weird and unusual, I always have to touch it.
Well, I guess that's better than licking it.
That is true. Sometimes I know people who lick things, and I'm often very concerned about it.
You know people who lick things.
You could say that.
Who's licking stuff?
Reminds me of one of my brothers, honestly.
Is it Lorcan?
Does Lorcan licking stuff?
I mean, who knows? It's a very valid question to ask.
I bet he is. Bless him.
He would. You know, for all the grief, we really should get on about that. He's a very unsanitary person.
I don't know about that.
Mm,
He might not be the cleanest, and he's bad at doing dishes. But
I watch him check right and check left, and then wipe something on the bottom of a table. And I'm not sure what it was.
What had happened immediately before that?
I just caught him doing that.
Oh. Alright, yeah, we're gonna have to. We'll have a family meeting about that. Should we mosey around the grounds? Or are we going in?
We could ask for directions.
Directions to what? We're at the house.
To either of the
Well-
individuals here. We're at a whole estate.
Yeah, there are multiple buildings upon this estate grounds.
Gotcha. Well, we could. Got 3 people that we need to talk to. Do we want to split or?
I think if they see a fewer number of mortals walking around here, that might prove dangerous.
You know what? You're so right. So we stick together.
I think that's safest.
Okay.
Alright. So. You are. The 4 of you, plus Carissa, are able to move as a group. The easiest thing to get to from where you're at is the Blood Gardens from the main courtyard. The gardens are eerily beautiful. Dark roses, thorny vines, but it seems a little too much like a production. As if the flowers don't quite grow so eagerly on their vines. There are more fountains here, crimson tinted water. There are statues of long forgotten heroes casting shadows over the winding pathways. And there are numerous mausoleums that seem to see wear and walkage of time and people coming and going. There are other figures on the estate grounds who are not alone, but you do catch a few glares in your direction. Others are hungry, sort of gazes full of a sanguine desire.
I will say that Avi notices the looks and is just trying so hard to have a pleasant face.
Would you like to put on a performance check?
I shouldn't have said anything. It's a 22.
Okay. Your face is ever the picture of
Unbothered.
composure, I think is the word I was going for. But yes. So what do you continue on your just promenade about the estates, or do you do any investigations here in the Blood Gardens? Do you talk to anyone? What are you doing? I will say that there is one sort of, it's not quite a house, but you do see a 3-story bordello, but it doesn't seem to be part of this. It's separate from the main mansions and other buildings of the estate. It's still definitely on estate grounds, but it does seem to be a separate area that has the highest concentration of the people in the Blood Gardens. They seem to be in that area.
I think Z is just kind of enthralled with, I guess, the grandeur of the place, especially with they're assuming how old it must be. But did we happen to get descriptions of the people that we need to talk to, or is that still kind of a mystery?
No, you've got the first thing you got was very much basic
Oh, okay.
descriptions of like this elf or whoever.
Okay.
But it was after talking to Yerwithel and
Okay.
others that you were able to get a little bit more idea of who is who, what capabilities are.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. I think that even though they are kind of entranced by the things that surround them, they are keeping an eye out for the people that we are looking for.
Give me a perception check. At least from where you're currently standing, you're not seeing anyone that matches what you are looking for. There is plenty of grounds to discover, though. Plenty of places for people to be hiding. It's not a discouragement that you've not seen anyone yet.
Okay.
Maybe we should ask for directions.
I'm with you, Cecil.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we might wander into some place we really shouldn't be.
The last thing we want is displeased vampires.
I want vampires.
I'm usually open to the idea of immortality, but with this, it's a lot different.
I mean, we'll see them sparkling when they come.
I'm sorry?
What?
Isn't that what they do?
It's
Who?
The vampires.
Where did you hear that?
Why would you ever think that? That is just the silliest thing I've ever heard.
They call it the skin of the killer.
I don't think they do. That
No,
sounds.
I've heard different.
No.
I've heard different stories.
Really?
Yeah.
Factual stories?
Hey, factual enough. Real stories is you or me.
Oh my god.
Can I get a persuasion check?
Persuasion shit for me?
Yep. Yeah, we'll put the DC of 14.
How's a dirty 20?
Alright. Cecil's with him.
My goodness.
Well, maybe they're from Vale de Fera, where he's from. Maybe they're a different kind of vampires. I can see that being a thing.
Yeah, I grew up on different stories than y'all. You might be weird.
Now, granted, we weren't anywhere in direct light from above when we were in Vale de Fera, but, I didn't see anybody sparkling.
Maybe you weren't looking hard enough.
I was looking at other things.
What's that supposed to mean?
I'm just saying, I was paying attention to other things.
That
What
cat
other
was kind of
things?
sparkly, wasn't it?
I think it
what-
was just the aura of the cat altogether.
I don't think that cat was a vampire.
I really don't think so.
I think he sucked, but I don't think he was a vampire.
Is
Right.
there anybody close by
Yeah.
so we can ask for directions?
What is
The
it?
gang goes on a
Not
tangent
looking at
about
us like we're
vampires.
hungry.
Roll me an insight check.
My goodness.
What? You want to see who's not looking at you like you're a juice box?
I wasn't saying my. You know what? I should have taken a nap.
Yeah, you see someone who definitely isn't looking at you like your Meals on Wheels.
Great. I'm gonna walk up.
All right.
So very pleasant.
Wheels, but...
There's a bow of the head, and the gentleman will actually remove his hat.
Hi there.
It is a refreshing face that has graced me this evening. I do not know your name.
Avi.
As you introduce yourself, he will give another bow of his head. It is a pleasure.
It's a pleasure to meet you as well, Mr.
Xylon.
Zalon.
What, like them robot people?
Bracken.
We are here to meet with a few people. It's just such a big place, we're not sure where to go.
Well, anyone who you are meeting is, it seems, in quite luck. You are exquisite company.
Well, I mean, I do my best, but
Is there any chance that I could sway you from your previous meetings?
well, I mean, they're pretty important meetings. With Captain Shaverban, for example, for one.
You can see Xylon's face sour a bit here. Well, you would not find him on this side of the estates. Keeps himself close to the training yards. Anything else that is under his duty and purview.
Well, maybe you could help us find someone on this side of the estate. We also have meetings with a Lady Moragod and Silvani.
I believe you all were warned against Silverani.
And we decided that that's what we were doing.
Okay, cool. All right. I didn't remember too much.
You don't remember that because you were. Oh, yeah. That's
Your
right.
warnings fall on deaf ears. I hope you know that.
Did we really just just
we-
above table? Did we really? We really did decide that we were doing that. That's not something that I made up.
I know that there was interest in it, but I do remember having characters warn you that
All right, just for now, then
Yeah.
we'll take that part out of this.
um but ugh. Yeah, you could probably find Moragod here. And you see at this point that he's kind of lost interest. Very much perhaps thinks low of your figure of interest.
Hmm.
If anything, she's going to be in the vein. And he nods over to the bordello.
Well, all right.
Hey, what's
Thank
over there?
you.
Were you asking?
The bordello.
As you approach, you would see that it is. There's a name, title. Vein of the Vein, Inn and Lounge.
Just skip on that one.
It seems to be the place we need to go.
I'll go skip on that for now.
I'm going in.
Going in
Follow behind.
to the bordello.
Cecil's moving his little legs.
The bordello.
There is a sort of plush sort of seating here. Almost everything is covered in velvet. There is a stage for performances, but it is empty. And chandeliers cast a dim light through everything. And there are people. Some seated in the open, others behind curtained alcoves, and curious eyes follow you as you enter into the space.
We really should be careful. Like, watching us like hawks.
You're right. We could try to dry her out, but is there like a reception area, or is this like?
It's more of a sort of lounging space when you
Mhm.
enter in, but there is a path that you can follow, any sort of artisanal carpeting over the wooden floors here, but would lead you to an area where you see a very otherworldly woman. She has her hair in an updo, but there are a few strands that artfully fall out of the placement. She is. She wouldn't be dressed, I would say, modestly, but it is not. It's very much a seductive sort of dressing. Highlighting certain areas to allow for a certain thought progression. And she seems to have this ledger book and is seated behind a counter. She seems to be perhaps a worker of the establishment.
Mm. I'll approach her.
She looks up and you can see these crimson eyes as she smiles, careful to hide any teeth.
Hello.
Hello.
Just taking a look around and noticed it's awfully quiet in here.
Yes, we are selective. in who performs on our stage, and that does create for slim areas of entertainment.
Oh, well, I mean, I was gonna offer, but if you're selective, then
She looks you up and down, Avi. Um, well, I think that he would be unconventional, but an appreciated sight. Though you could cause some of the other performers to be a little jealous. You have something that everyone already desires.
you are.
She just gives a small hum.
Oh, oh, okay. I get it. Well, I'll play a bit, and I mean, if anything goes wrong, I'll just stop. If that's all right.
And what are your rates?
Oh, I didn't even. Cecil, remind me of my rates.
10 gold an hour.
10 gold an hour.
You see that she will open up the ledger book in front of her and grab a pen nearby. And your name?
Avi.
She'll write it down. The stage is yours, Avi.
Thank you. I'm gonna head towards the sage, but like as we're walking, pretty hushed. The woman was a bard. I think we can draw her out.
Cecil will nod. Is there an empty table or area where we can sit down and observe
Yeah.
quietly? I'll usher Bracken and Z over there.
Bracken will join the
Go sit.
seats.
I'll pull out my viol, and we're trying to match the vibe of the place. Maybe a little sad,
Okay.
a little sexy. You know, we're trying.
Um, can Z try to? Because Z is very protective of Avi. And they really want to be right next to her.
I'm on stage.
Listen, it's not a lot, but may I accompany you? Just
See,
as
I appreciate what you're doing. I can handle it. If this doesn't work, we can try something else, but it might work. I'm gonna be fine.
Z will slowly back away.
All right. Well then, Uh, why don't we get a performance check from Avi first and foremost,
Mhm.
and perception checks from Bracken, Cecil, and Z.
That's a 32.
So, Avi, you are easily able to match the vibes here. A little somber, a little sexy. I seem to watch you not just with hunger, but with an appreciation. Perhaps you have swayed a few would-be predators off with an appreciation for your artistic potentials. Meanwhile, in the audience, Cecil and Bracken. You two would notice something.
Mm.
The figure nearby. She's more than just a little, it seems, put out. And seems to be leaned back against the bar, watching Avi. And there is a steeliness about her. And you recognize that from the base description that you have that this could be your Lady Morgod.
Cecil will say into the ring, just so that Avi can hear. I think we've got her attention.
I'll give just a quick look to Cecil so he knows that I heard it.
Should we go talk to her? I guess that was just a Bracken and Z, since Avi's busy captivating the audience.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
You think she'll be apprehensive if we all go over at once?
Perhaps.
I'll approach her first.
Okay, and you remember while we're here to talk to her, right?
I'm assuming to talk to her about just give me a reminder just to make sure this place gives me the creeps and it's affecting me.
That list that we got of the individuals, there may be some discontent with how the house is being run, and we want to get them on Listana's side.
Get right or
Yes.
get left.
Right. Yes. I'll see what I can do.
Right. We need them on our side so that we can deliver the amulet directly to Listana.
Yes. All right. Wish me luck.
I wish you nothing but.
And I will approach her.
For the first moment, you don't think that Morgod has noticed you. Eyes set on the stage. And then you hear a gruff, "You can't buy the drinks that would be offered to me."
Oh. Well, I wasn't. Sorry, I'm not very good at introductions. Apologies. My name is Z.
Morgad.
Ah, yes. It's lovely to meet you. I had a few questions for you, if you wouldn't mind taking some precious time out of your evening to answer them.
What are you, some sort of reporter?
Oh, no, 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 no. Reporting is not really my thing. I'm a more secluded type of person. I'm not that charismatic. But I had a few questions about a list of people that I have, and I will show the list.
Immediately her eyes find where her name is on the list, and look, if I'm just some figure you're trying to cross off of whatever interests in your fantasies, I'm not interested.
It's of important. It's of important business.
I'm sure that everyone thinks themselves very much important business, but you're not really selling yourself. There are better distractions than whatever this is that I could be chasing right now. And her eyes flick back to where Avi is, and there is a gleam of a predator.
We are looking for people to join our side. We are currently looking for some aid. And your name was brought up.
Well, whatever your side is, you've got quite a challenge ahead of you based on who all is on that list.
And I will mention God, I am having so much trouble today. I apologize. I will mention our purpose for asking the people on this list to like basically what Cecil said, but relaying it. That is the main reason why we are here.
You expect me to put myself out for one of these higher up vampires that care for nothing beneath them. Why would Listana be any different than Ragavan?
Well, then I would ask you, why would you?
Why would I what? Stay in the place that housed me, and paid me, and everything that I could. Gives me as their very own little songbird, and then one day rip it all out. Tear my neck open, let me bleed on the floor. It's because I don't really have anywhere else to go here. None of them care about us. Either you're pretty to look at, you have some sort of novelty about you, and you're placed upon your your little pretty pedestal. Or you have power, and you're the one making the pedestals. Everyone else, you're just meat, fodder, waiting on the sidelines until you are necessary once more. So, if you want me to join up with one of them, you're gonna have to sell me a little bit better. Now, excuse me. This conversation has me quite thirsty. And Morgoth is going to move away from the conversation. Once again, eyeing Avi before leaving this.
I set myself up to leave. I pause for a moment, and I go back. No one? The reason why that we are here, and listen, I know very little about my companions, but I know that I have an avid dislike for people who are unwilling to help others.
He pauses as you have followed after her, looking over her shoulder, not even fully. Desperation doesn't look good.
It's not of desperation.
Then allow me my drink, and you go back to your companions. You have a list of other fantasy figures to work through, remember? She'll walk off.
Throughout this conversation, would Cecil have noticed all of the lingering looks towards Avi?
Roll for me a perception or insight.
Dope.
No, she just seemed to be watching the room.
I will send over a message over the ring. Everyone is eyeing Avi with thirst. Beware. If anything happens. Bracken, you know what to do.
Yeah, sure.
These upstuck pieces of shit anger me.
Cecil will say over the ring. Avi, if they have interest in you, then maybe bard to bard is the way to get through to this one.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to? You want to tap in? You want me to tap in?
There's a very clear shake of the head, but along with the music.
Cecil sits down.
Cecil's so excited to do like the spoken poetry bongo jam out. Shot down.
We gotta get him a bonjour hat.
The plan is to play a little longer and then let things cool down from whatever just happened. And we'll deal with it after.
I sit back down at the table. You can. Z is in like a a deep blood red suit with their cloak that they always wear over top. Their hair is kind of pulled up and half down, half up, half down, because their hair is fairly long. But you can tell that they are so uncomfortable right now. I really, really hate these people.
All right. Well, maybe best not to say that while we're still surrounded by them.
Well, I mean, I'll drink to that, and I'll try and find something to drink that isn't blood.
There is a very limited offering, and you'd have to go through the very otherworldly figure that had taken obvious information before. But you are able to get yourself a glass of a red wine. It is deep, very rich flavors, not terribly sweet, but it is something.
I think Z is also upset that they seem to be more motivated by emotion rather than logic, even though they want to just have logic as their main forefront, but they're frustrated. And I guess they also just remember, I guess, back when they were younger and trying to be adopted. A lot of the wealthier applicants often referred to Z in a very derogatory way. And so I think just being surrounded by very elegant and rich looking things, they're definitely not in the greatest headspace.
As your eyes roam, your minds wander, and the music plays, we will have to pick up with our story after our upcoming ad break. So, hang out with us. We'll be right back to continue our story, but before we head out, I do ask that you let the ads run. They're important to us. They help keep our games affordable. If you want to directly support us, however, you can always do so through my Ko-fi. Link for that is on screen and in our chat room. These Ko-fi donations not just support us at Wildewitch RP, they unlock awesome perks for the entire community that benefit everyone who play with us for the next month. They include special companions, double treasure, double XP, new quests, all sorts of fun things. Speaking of no, I think that's really it. So just hang out with that, and we will see you guys very soon. All right, we're back. And you guys are in this nice lounge thing, and everything's fine with a trademark sign. Your how much longer do you perform, Avi?
I mean, I'd give it another maybe 20 minutes. But I do want to get, if I'm getting paid, I want to get paid as much as I can,
Yeah, of course.
you know.
Yeah.
But I don't want to drag on. So,
Totally. But when you are descending the stage, and of course there are a few eyes that follow your
mhm.
descent, where is it that you would like to head, Avi? I would say that you would know who Morgoth is when they pointed her out.
Right. I'm gonna head that way, but I'll take a roundabout way. So I'll walk by everybody at the table and just kind of give a look to Z, like a "what the hell did you do" kind of look. Um, and then carry on giving smiles to everybody else.
Yeah. You get approached with compliments, of course. Some have lingering eyes, but
Mhm.
everyone seems polite. No one makes an attempt to eat you.
Oh, good. Um, I'll also stop at the bar just for a wine, and then I'll go find Morgod.
All right. Yeah, you find her, and she looks at you, and again, there is a um, very thinly veiled bit of contempt in her eyes.
Um, I wanted to apologize for my friends. I saw them talking to you.
So you're one of the companions. Great.
I know they can be kind of forward. I wanted to apologize for that.
It's nothing I haven't heard before. Some hopeless drivel, someone wishing to better the way of the world, but the world is cruel and harsh and unchanging.
Certainly is.
Well, you've made your apology. Is there anything else you're wishing of me?
What exactly did they say to you?
They showed me who all your targets are, and that they're looking for people to join their side.
It's not
Really.
exactly it.
And then illuminate me.
Well, we're here on behalf of Duchess Listana.
They mentioned as such.
Mm.
But really, what is one master for another? What makes the Listana different? You just tell me that you're looking for a side, but why disrupt the status quo that treats me so horribly if it's going to just be the same slop served over lukewarm under the yoke of a different master?
How do you know that's what it'll be?
As I said before, the world is cold, cruel, and unchanging. If you have any knowledge that it would be different, by all means, sell it to me. You sing well enough to paint pretty pictures in the minds of creatures long forgotten of the light.
Well, I wish I could just flat out tell you that it would be better, but I'm assuming that stories you've heard, things others have told you, things you've observed might have your mindset. I've heard stories about you. They paint you to be this sad victim, but I don't see you like that.
Only a persuasion check.
This could be bad. It's bad. It's 14.
You have her intrigued. She doesn't say anything, but she's looking at you now. Not with the contempt, but with a curiosity.
I see you as someone who had the life that they knew taken so quickly, and you have stood your ground. You've claimed this place as your own, your home, a place where such horrible things happen to you. That counts for something. So stories are not. Maybe things under Listana would be different. Maybe they wouldn't. But you won't know until you try. You give her a chance.
Go ahead, give me a persuasion check. You may do so at advantage.
It's a 28.
It's not until after you talk that her eyes drift away from you, as if observing the room around, thoughts cycling through her mind. Perhaps with a bit of change, there could be a press for more artistic pursuits, cultural appreciations. Change is good for that. If nothing else. And then she looks back to you. Put a check mark or whatever you need to by my name on that silly list of your friends. I'll at least hear what Listana has to say.
Thank you. And if you ever need another pretty song, I'm not hard to find.
Only so many with your affliction. Looking at more vibrant areas where the skin is thinner, so face, cheeks, wrists, where blood would easily come to the surface. It would be hard to find you at all.
I'll leave you to your drink.
Morga begins to observe the room as she had when you had entered in. What do you do afterwards, Abby?
I'll head back to the table. Let me finish my wine, and then we should probably get out of
Sounds good. I'm eager to know how it went.
here. Was it good? My plan.
Exquisite.
Thank you.
Do you pick up your payment before you head out?
Of course I do.
Okay. You get 5 gold for your half-hour play. Your wine has been covered by one of the admirers in the crowd.
Okay, great.
And the lady behind the counter does welcome you back to perform, should you wish to at any point during your stay.
Of course, if I have time.
Where do you wish to go now? Do you wish to take a bit of a promenade, discuss what happened with Morgard? Do you wish to search for someone else?
We can walk slowly towards wherever the training yard is, yeah?
You could make your way there, yeah.
I shouldn't have gone to talk to her.
It's fine, Z.
It's a common trend for me. I always go and mess it up.
You may have made it a little bumpy, but you didn't mess it up. You opened a door, and I walked through it. I was able to salvage everything. She's gonna hear Listana.
I'm not as eloquent with words as you are. And it doesn't help that I don't really like those types of people. People who have a lot more than I do, or I guess we do.
What was her main issue with coming to our side?
She's worried that things will be just as bad for her under Listana as it is under whoever she's under.
Well, I guess we don't really have certainty to bargain with on that end. We don't know Listana really what she's aiming to do.
That's kind of what I told her. But,
Yeah.
I mean, she's at least going to hear her out. And that's a start.
Will that be enough for others?
I don't know.
Blind faith.
Roll for me insight checks here.
Oh, goodness.
God damn.
Oh my god.
Let's see if Bracken can salvage this.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Oy.
Damn.
Nah.
Well, maybe it doesn't have to be enough. Carissa will say.
What do you mean?
Don't sell them on what they are buying, but make them so uninterested in what they have that they turn.
Do we understand what they have enough to play that? make them as eager buyers as possible. I understand. That makes sense.
We listen to them, or we talk to others to see why they are disgruntled in the first place. Once we know what their weaknesses are, we just put pressure there. And then list on it will be there to pick up any of the broken pieces.
Seems a bit risky, but it worked once.
The training guards are near the servants' quarters. They are located in the back and the outskirts of the estates. These are where the shaded souls and other lesser undead in the hierarchy, at least, of Gezendul take their stay, and it becomes less grand, more drab. The areas aren't quite so etheric. You see the stables here, the Shadow Forge, blacksmith's workshop, and the training grounds, alongside the other housing for guards and attendants.
Do we have eyes on Captain What's his face?
You do not immediately see him, but go ahead. Why don't you roll for me a perception check?
22.
22. You would see, where he is at, as he is training some of the guards. It takes a while to recognize him, as he is mostly facing away from you. You only see his back, but when he turns to the side, you catch a bit of the profile, and you think that's your guy.
Well, that's gotta be him over there.
Certainly looks the type. He may not like being interrupted.
He doesn't seem the type that would be happy about an interruption.
Yeah, he looks like all business. And give it a try anyway.
We sure could. I'll go with you.
That's a good idea.
All
Sounds
right.
good.
So, Cecil, you're leading the charge here?
It would appear so.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'm gonna
The
give him a bardic on the way over.
all right.
Another great idea.
Cecil, you approach the figure and you see he was likely human in his previous life, but he is very tall, very muscular, almost an ideal warrior, and then added upon the fact that he is vampiric, giving him extra boosts. He seems to be commanding the guard with drills and a voice that commands respect as you get closer and closer.
Uh, we probably get like 50 feet away, and Cecil just want to stop and like observe his mannerisms and try and pick up any bit of his personality through what he's saying
Give
or
me,
shouting.
yeah, give me an insight check.
Nope.
I'd like
He's-
to as well.
Yeah, go for it. Cecil, he seems to you as guard captains that you trained under and worked alongside in your home. Just very to the point. Avi.
Mm.
The man is militaristic. Everything is said with a diction and order that is not to be questioned. And it seems that this is very much the norm because his subordinates do as they are told without hesitation. They understand the hierarchy that has been built here.
I'll make sure everyone knows that.
Well, he certainly seems to have quite a grip on things, doesn't he?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go give this a shot. I will approach the captain.
I'll be not far behind, but still given some space.
Captain, your reputation precedes you. This seems to be a fine company of soldiers you have here.
He gives you a glance down before barking to the guards to continue with their current drills, and then turns his attention towards you all. I try. It's good that I have soldiers willing to listen.
Don't I know it? That's often a first thing that they need to be broken of.
They learn quick enough, yeah.
Well, if they don't, then they die. Your ears are your most important tool.
As is your
Assuming-
head.
That's right. Assuming the person they're listening to knows what they're doing, and it certainly appears that you do.
If only anyone else had the same vision as you.
Well, I know a thing or two about training soldiers. Just a question: Are these purely for defense of the grounds, or is this group capable of offensive measures as well?
The practices, of course, are mainly for defensive purposes, but Gezendul is not unknown to waging battles against the other estates and houses if the time comes, but these ones are a bit wet behind the ears still, so defensive only for them.
I understand. That's I would say is my specialty as well, but a couple of my siblings would remind me that the best offense or the best defense is a good offense, and you don't need it, but it's always important to fall back on.
I would say there's wisdom in your siblings' words. But
Sometimes. They're hit or miss.
there's not much that I have been asked upon in my days of recent.
Well, I've heard that you've been in your position for quite a long time and have been a part of some pretty critical battles for your house. That's very respectable.
How have you come to know so much about me?
I was reading about the history of the city and the great houses and noticed that your name was mentioned several times.
The days when I actually had to say in much more than just training.
I think,
Bygones of an era.
well, and of course, how rude of me. My name is Cecil Darkholm. I've come a long way to speak with you. And I'll reach my arm out to shake his hand.
He will return the shake, though it is a bit of a stretch. He is very tall.
Well, I
He
can't really
wishes
do
to-
anything about it.
He tries to be polite. He doesn't call attention to it.
He's trying really hard to not bend over.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I like that. So you mentioned that you've been relegated just to training for a long time. I can understand how that could be frustrating to a warrior with prowess such as yours.
Yes, Victorian has been calling for expansions outside of the Guard Command in the increased militarization.
Well, the reason I came to speak with you is that myself and my companions, and I'll gesture behind myself, well, we're looking to meet with the Lady Listana. We have an item to return to her, and we're looking for support in doing so. That would also in turn support her. It sounds like you may be a bit harboring some discontent with the current situation, and she may seek to change things.
No persuasion check.
That was pretty good.
Well, you did roll perception, not
Oh,
persuasion.
no!
I'll let
Oh,
you
no.
keep. I'll let you keep the 19 if you want.
Okay, it would actually be a 22.
Okay.
No one ever say that Faye is not a nice game master.
Oh, she's wonderful.
And outstanding.
She's my favorite.
So kind.
Just keep buttering me up.
Ugh.
It won't change anything. But no, you can see that there is intrigue in the commander's eyes, and I've never had an issue with the Duchess Listana. If she would be requiring of my assistance, perhaps in a security delegation or otherwise, you may make it known to her that I'm always available for console.
I will certainly do so, and I understand that as a blade of the house, inaction can make you feel rusty, and when that's something very important to you, that doesn't sit well, and it's not set well with me in the past as well, so I understand your feelings, and we'll note here that the Lady Listana can count on your support.
Have a good evening, Master Darkhold.
You as well, Captain. And I will turn and briskly walk away.
Heart pounding.
That sounds like it went well.
surprisingly smooth, actually. I think he's probably less happy than when he let on with how things are going, and seems like they've kept him on the shelves or the sideline for some time, and he's ready for something more.
I hope you can give him what you promised him because he's gonna be pissed otherwise.
I think he'd be happy with any amount of change.
I don't think I would have gotten 2 words out with that man. Do you see how tall he was?
Yeah, he's a big dude.
That's intimidating.
Well, that's two. We needed at least one more, is what Aldris said. Not to
Hmm.
say that we couldn't go for more, but
Sure. Who are we thinking?
I think I got through to the one that I had the best chance at.
I mean, if we're struggling, we could always just point a finger at the list and go on that.
Sure.
Just go for the one that you want to go for.
Yeah.
Do it. It'll be very interesting.
I know that we've been warned against Silverani, but
I mean, what's the worst
it
that could
is
happen? She's on
someone
the list for a reason.
we have shown interest in speaking with her.
Maybe the reputation is blown out of proportion. Maybe she's quite pleasant and willing to hear us out.
Maybe. Let's
Or
hope
maybe
you're
it's
right.
maybe it's another dark vampire that just wants to eat us, but
Hmm.
we're on a hot streak here. I say we go for it.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, Bracken, lead the
We
way.
could die.
Well, let's track her down. Any guards around we can ask?
There's, I mean, in the training grounds, yeah, there's plenty of guards.
They're busy. I don't want to mess with that. Anyone who looks less busy?
You could always head back to the Blood Gardens. There were some people that were hanging around there. That's where you met Xylan.
Yeah, there's some people there. Let's go there.
All right.
We go there.
Go there.
Right. You return to the Blood Gardens as eerily filled with not quite life as they were before. A few figures hanging around, making their own small walks through the area. A few eyes finding you all.
Um, the first person that I see kind of looking our way, I'll smile and I'll make my way over.
This figure, a young woman, probably would have been a debutante in life, but now has this very much painted upon rouge to imitate a young flush,
Mm.
and makes her look very doll-like. Max, buddy, I can't have you on my lap right now. But she looks to you from behind her fan, and gives a smile. Unlike the lady behind the counter in the vein, she does show off her fangs here. Um, were you the one that everyone's talking about? The performer?
People are talking about me.
Word travels quite quick in these areas.
Well, yeah, I did play a bit at the lounge. I'm Avi.
A pleasure, Avi. You may call me Summer.
It's a pleasure to meet you as well. Listen, I've heard of a mage that's here. Silvani.
The Drider.
Yeah, that's the one.
Well, if you'd be looking for her, she's usually found in the library. But if she's not there, she's in the crypts.
Well, that sounds like two fun places.
You could get to the crypts through the mausoleums here, but I would perhaps suggest checking the libraries first.
Well, I found the library.
Just beyond the Great Hall. And she points to one of the main buildings.
Thank you so much.
She just gives another smile with fangs on display.
Mm.
I hope you find what you're looking for.
I'll make my way back to the group.
Okay.
You got away?
I do, but has
Sorry.
anybody mentioned anywhere that Silvani's a drider?
What now?
What's that?
If anyone would like to roll for me Arcana, Nature, or History, I'll say Avi, you already know what this is.
Uh-huh.
Z,
None of these work.
Cecil. Z and Cecil. Driders are a monstrosity of the humanoid torso and a spider, a giant spider, in place of their lower half, combined through strange magics. Not a particularly not a particular creation known for kindness. They are known to be quite off-putting in the kindest of terms.
So this one is a Drider, a vampire, and a spell user.
Yeah.
I see why we were told to stay away from her.
Yeah.
Well, maybe she wants friends?
Mm.
I don't see
Spiders
why
freak
we
me out. There's too
can't.
many legs.
I mean,
don't
we
see
haven't
why
gone
we can try.
we haven't gone to find her. We have only asked about her. We can abandon this at any moment and go find someone else.
Can I insight check Avi?
I mean, it'll be what Avi is up to interpretation on what you get, but
Okay, I rolled 11. How long's it been since I got that bardic?
Um,
I'd say it's more than 10 minutes, unfortunately.
That's okay. I'm trying just to figure out if Avi still wants to go through with it.
hold on. Avi is still very much putting forward in her appearance that she's turned on. Um, that's what you get.
All right. Well, maybe. I mean, it would be a very powerful ally.
I agree with Cecil. It's better to have the more intimidating ones on our side than not.
Mhm. 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 Mhm.
Avi, are you really alright?
Why would I not be all right? People are talking about me. Do you know that?
Yes, but
A bunch of vampires are talking about me.
that's often not a good thing.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, maybe you're getting a positive reputation around here. I'm not sure if that's what we want you to have, but
If y'all are sure, let's go find this spider lady.
are you sure?
Yep.
All right, that's good enough for me.
All right, here we go.
All right. So off to the library.
Off to the library.
Library with like strawberries.
So, as you move through the grounds, past the Great Hall, there are more figures of a seeming political or more clerical type of careers that seem to sit in these areas, almost as if holding their own courts or waiting for the larger family courts to come through. But you find yourselves in the archives, the Deathless Archives, they're called. This vast library that takes up its own, it seems, building. As there are rows upon rows upon rows of tomes, forbidden knowledges, ancient prophecies, dark arts, and other more mundane knowledge paths. It seems that this is a haven for scholars and scribes. And as you are attempting to get further in, you do hear a cough from nearby the doors just as you enter in, and you see a librarian sitting there, undead, as most everyone else is. Excuse me, you are not scholars of the archives. You will need to pay an admissions fee.
Admissions for a library?
It is technically a private library.
Understood. Oh, how much are we talking here?
For a general admission, you are looking at 2 gold, but that will forbid you from some of the more esoteric knowledges. If you wish to have access to the full library, it will be 5 gold. This is a daily price. However, you are welcome if you plan to make more than one occasion to look at our longer term services.
Like an annual pass?
If you wish to subscribe to a yearly payment, you could, yes.
I think just one day will be fine for now. And I'll hand her 25 gold.
Okay. As that is tallied in the books, you are given each handwritten passes that allow you all free reign of the library, the archives.
I really hope Dylan comes through.
Yeah. Maybe that guy knows where Silvrani is.
Oh, the librarian.
Yeah.
I'll ask her.
Awesome, thanks.
Uh-huh.
Okay. You approach once again, and the figure looks up. Can I assist?
I am sorry to bother you again, but we're actually in addition to perusing the archives, we are looking for someone, and we were told they would be here. Silvrani.
Will be in the esoteric magics near the dark arts.
That makes sense. Thank you so much. Want to take a guess where she's at?
The scary place.
Yep.
Cool.
Esoteric dark arts.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Let's go.
If we must.
If we must.
If we must.
All right. Go ahead as you move into that area. Why don't we get perception or investigations? All right. It is Avi and Z that would notice this as you move yourselves into the library. And why don't we get some library sounds here? Why don't we get a restricted session? The power that seeps through the area from these tomes, it is palpable to all of you. Even those of you that have the finished, barest connections with the weed and the veils and the magic between them. And it is beneath that Avi and Z, you hear it. The sounds of soft footsteps along the high shelves, and looking up, you see the figure that must be this Silvrani. She climbs down, hands full of books, draped in fabrics akin to a dressing gown at one point. and then disappears into the stacks to wherever it is she seems to be holding her research. But you have an idea, since you saw her from above you.
Hmm. Um, what are there? There are obviously books around. Can I grab a few books in seemingly similar areas?
Sure.
And well, we're doing this, huh? I'll start moving towards the direction we saw her go.
Okay. You follow, all of you, that string, that hug. And you would see just beyond the different bookshelves here a large table filled with book stacks and scrolls and different arcane accoutrements, components, materials. And the woman, a elven grace to the upper half, but again shrouded in these darkened fabrics. It seems her more arachnid form is hidden from this view, but you are already aware of its existence. But any conversations you will have with Silbrani will have to wait until after our next ad break. So, hang out with us. We'll be right back to continue our story, but before we head out, I do ask that you let the ads run. They're important to us at Wildewitch RP. They help keep our games affordable. If you want to directly support us, however, you can do so through my Ko-fi. Link for that is on screen, as well as in our chat room. Donations here not just support us at Wildewitch RP, they unlock awesome perks for the entire community that benefit everyone who play with us for the next month. These perks include special companions, double treasure, double XP, new quests, a lot of fun things. So, hang out. We'll see you guys very soon.
And
That's really what we're coming back on?
yeah.
Okay. So, we return you all in the library in the more esoteric areas, particularly those filled with the dark arts. Because you are here to meet with Silvran, a vampiric spellcaster and now revealed Drider, who you see right there in the middle of her research.
Um, is there space at the other end of the table or any other tables in this area?
There are tables in this area that you
Okay.
could.
I don't want to encroach on her space right away. Let me get a space at another table, but where I can still see her with
Oh.
my books.
Cecil grabs one random book from the shelf and follows Avi.
Avi, would you be wanting to try and scope out the figure of Silfrani, inconspicuously?
Yeah.
Give me a performance check, please.
Okay. It's a 21.
When you glance over your books, very much making it so that you aren't looking, you would notice that Silverani's eyes are no longer on her research, but intently upon your group.
Oh. I'll let it linger for a minute. And then place my book down and look up very matter-of-factly. Would you like a portrait?
My dear, I would like a taste. You flaunt yourselves around here. Not even perfume to scent your conditions. You play a dangerous game.
Maybe. But as dangerous as it is, there is still the matter of being polite.
Why should I be polite to food?
You have a point. Well, this got real awkward real fast. Why are you doing research here?
Because this is a library,
Mm.
and it has the materials I need. And only as of late has it had more pulses upon its grounds. Rather progressive action from Vitruvian and Dragolon.
How do you feel about them? I've heard some mixed reviews.
I'd rather they didn't let food cavort upon the grounds. I'd rather they be corralled in a single place, blood dens or vaults.
That does seem more efficient.
Less messy.
Mm. I do hate a mess.
And I hate temptations. I find that I'm hard to keep my claws to myself.
Well, you've done a great job so far.
You can see where she sort of licks her lips and the glint of the fangs there.
All right. I'm gonna cut the shit. We're here for a reason. We're here to talk to you on behalf of Duchess Listana.
She sends a treat thing.
Look, she didn't send us specifically, but you know.
This Donna is aware of my proclamations, my favored feedings. You were sent with reasons, and you each feel the weight of the woman's eyes upon your necks.
Yeah, go ahead, Scott.
I gotta be, real honest with you. You're doing a real good job at making me uncomfortable, so I'm just gonna flat out ask. Um, would you be willing to hear Listana out? Back her up.
For the price. This Donna is aware of our current standings.
What is it you want?
Blood, of course.
Just blood.
One bite, a gulp from each of you. Unless one of you would like to be sucked dry. You can see a sort of glee in her eyes at that second offering.
Can we just help you do some research or something?
Yeah, I don't really want to get bit.
Those are my terms. Istana is aware of our tumultuous relations. If you wish me to ally myself, blood. Otherwise, I find myself playing to whoever sits upon the throne.
But I need some assurances.
I've kept my claws out of you this long, have I not?
Like I said, you've done a wonderful job of that.
Years of practice.
Mm.
I would not kill you all if your price was paid between the five of you.
It's one bite. I don't like it any more than any of you. But it gets us out of here quick, and it gets us what we want.
I'll do it.
Fine.
I'll go double Kraken.
No, I got it.
Are you sure?
I volunteered.
What's a bit of bloodshed? Silverani moves over your group, carefully stepping over her own desk and table with the spider appendages, and you can see now, as she stands at her height, she is taller than even the Captain Shavraban. But she settles back down, the legs curling beneath her. I am quite partial to drinking from the neck, but I will welcome wherever you wish me to feed from.
I look up and I, with my like somewhat metal arm, I put out my arm made of flesh and I look up. Will the rest do?
Before there is even a response, you feel a cold grasp upon your hand as, with unknown speed, barely even a blink passes before there is a piercing bite into the wrist. It is not clean, but you can feel the chill. And then the gulp that comes from it, this pool of blood from your veins. You will lose 17 points of health. But, true to her word, one gulp, and she pulls away. And she licks her lips and teeth clean of the blood. She looks to the rest of you.
Bracken just kind of offers his forearm up.
Much the same. A ferocious bite down, a pinch of chill, but as soon as the gulp is had, she pulls away. You also lose 17 points of health.
Cool.
If I give you my neck, will you spare one of the other two?
I'd spare the other two, one of them, if you allow me to drink more than just once.
What about both of them?
Cecil.
We
All right,
just-
fine. All right,
Cecil.
here's my hand.
Alright.
Just the one, please.
She takes one gulp. You take 17 points of damage, but she pulls back.
I'll offer the palm of my hand.
Okay. There is the bite between the tendons and muscles. And 17 points of damage to you as well. And Carissa. Carissa will offer her neck. But when your blood fee has been paid, Silverani comes back and again licks her lips, licks the teeth and the fangs, and delectable. It's been so long since I've had which from veiled mortalis. Fresh air and some others. This done, I can count on my services.
I just kind of give a nod and I start walking out.
Pleasure. And Cecil will turn and walk as well.
And we're out there.
Easily enough, you're able to leave this section, the libraries entirely. Where do you go?
We got 3. That's
Are we trying to
the
go
minimum.
for more?
I don't want to be here anymore.
I understand.
Definitely agree with
We've got what we need. Do we have to go back to Maldris now and tell him we have 3 supporters?
I think we can write her a letter.
That would work. Back to Ravenmere then?
Yeah.
Let's get out of here. And don't touch that fountain again, Z. Is everyone okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little woozy, but aside from that, okay.
Carissa?
Never say that I imagined being bit by a vampire would be quite like that. I'm still on my feet.
Well, let's hurry back then.
So, you return to Ravenmere. What is it that you do upon your return? Do you take off your more more elite outfits, wind down for the evening, tend to the bites, seek solace in the grounds of the estate or in the arms of your companions?
Well, it's not a bed.
Find solitaire.
It's not a bed.
What do you do?
We definitely want to get a letter off to Maldris.
I'll take care of it.
Thanks, Ami.
Anything more than just the
No,
base?
it's straight to the point.
Okay.
Who is on Listana's side, and when that we're open to communications.
Sounds good.
And I don't seek anything. I go to bed. I don't even change.
Okay.
So like at that point we knew that the next step was good. But it's not like we need to like make sure we don't have what we're worried about is somebody go down every time and nobody else brings anything.
Bracken, Z, Cecil, any deviations from your normal routines?
Nothing to note. No.
I don't think so.
No.
And each of you find rest. It may not be the best rest, but it is rest. and morning, as it has before, as it will continue to do. And what this new day has in store for you, well, we'll see what all that is in our next session. So, thank you to our players for playing. Thank you to our viewers for viewing. I hope you all enjoyed this storm. We'll see you guys in our next episode. I'll see you all in our next stream. But until then, head over to wildewitch.com. Check us out there. Join us in our Discord to jump into a game yourself, keep up to date with all of our announcements, and as always, may the ever-burning light forever guide your steps. Haters.